Oh, it's a documentary they did on the grizzly bear guy.
You've told me about this and shown me some of that.
Yeah. So they're telling the story. The guy is a complete idiot. Takes his girlfriend up there. He's living with the bears. And so, I mean, he's in Alaska. He's a surfer dude from California.
Okay.
I don't know that he ever didn't have a beanie on. Anybody that's never seen us on YouTube, Bill, I don't believe I've ever seen Billy without a beanie on.
It's funny when I don't wear a beanie, I get comments.
Yeah, in the 2+ years he's worked here, I don't believe I've ever seen him without a beanie on. So, but blonde hair surfer dude, always with the beanie, always with the sunglasses, kind of had his shtick. And he would go up to Alaska and he would literally hang out with grizzly bears. Now, there's nothing more dangerous. There's nothing. I mean, grizzly bears are goddamn grizzly bears, right?
Yep.
And I mean, they have 3-4 inch nails and they're 1,000 pounds. Well, them fuckers up there are even bigger.
Yep.
It's insane how big and strong these things are. Well, dude, I'm one with the bears. So he would go up every year after year, and he started to get to know the bears, and he would film himself. Now, this is 20 years ago, right? So filming himself was more of an event than it is today.
Yeah.
And so he would set up the camera, and then he'd go out there and just sit next to him while they were eating. And these are wild grizzly bears. So you got to hand, clearly money had something the matter with it. 100%. Clearly that he had this thing about being one with the bears and all that. So he, and people may know.
I'll give him credit. It worked for a while.
No, it did work well, he made a mistake.
Yep.
So he was going to leave, and he stayed like a week or two longer because the summer drug on a little bit longer than it should have. But all of the bears that he hung up with every day took off for greener fields, wherever they go in the fall, right? So he left, or so they all left. And so all of the inland bears, this is all on the rivers, right, where they do nothing but eat fish.
Yeah.
All of the more inland bears, which are, maybe the bears that aren't quite as big or they're older, moved in.
They're more hungry.
Yeah. So he hadn't seen them before. But so he treated those bears just like the other bears that he had seen. I don't know, don't quote me. It's like 7 or 10 years he went up there. So the same bears come every day to the water. So that's where he hung out with them. So then these bears come in, and he had never seen these bears before. Well, this genius treated those bears like he treated the other bears. Now, the bear that ultimately got him was like bear number 165 or something. He was tagged. And the year before, he'd gotten tranquilized, and they'd taken out some teeth, right? Because he's getting old.
Yep.
So they figured he was about 25, or 28, which is super old for a bear. So much so that he has, the day before he dies, he has video of the bear swimming in a pond, and it looks like he's playing. He'd come up, and then he'd go down, and his paws would be up, his rear paws would be up out of the water, and it looks like he's playing. No, what he was doing, he was diving to the bottom to get the dead fish. Because he can't really hunt anymore because he's too old and got no teeth, right?
Yep.
So he's trying to go get those dead fish, and he's just... the dude's just sitting there videotaping the bear going through that. Well, he brings his girlfriend up there, and his girlfriend was supposed to go back like the day before, and she hangs out for a couple more days with him. And apparently, as you get later into the year, the bear starts to worry about how he's going to make it through the winter time, and he starts to eat dude. Now, when he eats dude, they have video of it, but they left the lens on. So all you can do is the lens cap. Yeah. Yep. So all you can do is hear it. Now it's horrendous. So you hear like him being eaten. Now, when a bear, this is my nature rant, right? Nature is metal. I follow them on Instagram. She's brutal. And some animals will kill the animal they're going to eat, right? So, like lions and shit, right? Leopards, they got to chase that shit down, then carry it back up into a tree. They're going to kill. I don't know if lions kill. I think they do. I think they, get it around the neck. I think they do. But a lot of animals just start eating.
Yep.
Right? They just start eating like hyenas and shit like that. Yep. So the bears, because they're so strong though, and so big, they don't have to kill you because they can just hold you with one paw. So they're ripping meat off of you This is a sweet topic.
They just start eating.
And so they just start eating. So you can hear dude screaming, and he's yelling at the girl to get away. Now she goes out of the tent, and you can hear the tent open and her go out of the tent. And dude kind of just starts to moan, and she starts to yell, like, get away, get away. And he comes back alive, and he's like, no, run, run, run. Well, she goes over, hits a grizzly bear with a pan. With a frying pan. So the grizzly bear eats her. The grizzly bear eats her too.
Yep.
Why am I telling you all this? I'm watching this thing. I've seen it before. I got to be honest. I should have just gone to YouTube. I was on Netflix and I saw it come up and I was like, oh, I'll watch it. But I'm just going to watch the video part where they get
just
eaten.
The end.
which they have on YouTube, but they don't have on the Netflix. I was all pissed off because I watched, half an hour of deal, kept fast forwarding into the good parts, and then the really good part never happened. But they talked about it, and so they had a doctor on there that explains how a bear. I mean, literally, the bear just holds you down, and the dude had big old bite marks on his head, so it had a hold of his head, but then it let go and just start pulling it off the legs, where the tender meat is.
Anything he can get up with his claws.
That's it. When they just hold you down and bites.
Yeah.
So,
but he didn't have teeth, so I imagine he's.
Well, he did. I mean, he didn't have a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
Right. He had enough teeth to eat, but not enough teeth to do what he needed to do, unless you're human.